Hello, my name is Andrew Omdahl, and my proposition today is um, how you can get a wind turbine built on your property. To start off with, I will have three main points throughout my speech. The first one being who you should contact to build a wind turbine and the process they go through. The second point is being um, the location of your wind turbine, and the third point being uh, the construction of the wind turbine. So, with that said, building a wind turbine is easier than you may think. In the process of building or erecting a wind turbine, you should contact a wind developer. Um, if you are a social person in your community, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to contact your neighbors and reach out to anybody else who might be affected by the wind turbine because, they may have some issues with it or things of that nature. So it'd probably be a good idea to reach out to them and discuss your plans with them. Anyway, these wind developers, as I was mentioning, they go through a variety of steps. In order to get the wind turbine on your property. Um, they lease your property um, for the wind turbine to be built there. Usually, they pay you between $4,000 and $8,000 per wind turbine, according to Windustry.org. Um, these wind developers get their wind turbines from manufacturers, um, and they truck them in, and have them placed on your property. Um, After contacting one developer, they will generally come out to your property and check it out, and see if it'll be a suitable place for your wind turbine. Which leads me into your to my next point, which is location of your wind turbine. Um, you would like to lease this wind turbine in a certain location. The obvious uh, the obvious variable that comes into play here with location is obviously having a strong wind there, so you're not wasting anybody's time or money building a wind turbine there. The second variable is having transmission lines that the excess electricity can be pumped to the local distribution company. Without the local distribution company, the electricity has nowhere to go, and the wind developers won't want to build a wind turbine there. So, as I mentioned before, they want their wind turbine to be close to a transmission line. So, before you contact them, you want to make sure your property meets this criteria. GAIA Wind stated in their September of 2009 article that it is also important to make sure that there are no trees or buildings close to the site of the wind turbine. These trees and buildings, when the wind hits them, it changes the direction of the wind, which causes turbulence, and this turbulence hits the turbine, and over time it can damage the wind turbine. So you want to make sure that there isn't any objects in the way of the wind that will obstruct the wind direction and whatnot, because if your wind turbine breaks down, nobody's making money and it's just sitting out there. So after you have found the proper site for your wind turbine, it is time to let the construction begin. This is my third point, the constructing or erecting of the wind turbine. We Energies discuss in their book titled Developing and Constructing Wind Energy the steps of building a wind turbine. Um, First of all, the first step is building a road out to the construction site. Without a road, these companies bring in this heavy equipment that could just sink out of sight in your field, and you don't want that happening, ripping up your field and whatnot. So, a road is built to access the construction site. Secondly, um, workers knife in cables that will carry the electricity to the distribution company. Generally, always the minimum for these cables to be in the ground is 4 feet. So at 4 feet, farmers they don't run in, they can't really reach them with their tillage equipment and things of that nature. Uh, Once the cables are in position, it is then time for the pouring of the cement for the base to begin. The base is usually pretty big because it has to carry or it has to hold all of the weight of the wind turbine, which is uh, lots and lots of tons of steel and whatnot. So usually they dig out a hole or whatever, and they pour the cement for the um, base of the wind turbine in there. After the base is cured, the cement is cured, they then fill the hole back in, so you can then farm around it again, of course. Um, After the base is ready, after the base is in place, it is then time to start placing the components of the wind turbine onto it. The first um, component of the wind turbine that is placed on the base is the energy module. This goes on first because then the tower just slips right on over top of it, and you go from there. Once the 212-foot tower is built, the nacelle is placed on top. The nacelle is the part of the turbine that houses the generator. So once this is on, your blades are put on, and then your wind turbine is complete. So you know, uh, then you can after this is complete, then you can get back to operating land around the wind turbine and so on. Um, After hearing why you should build a wind turbine and invest in a wind turbine last week in my persuasive speech, I hope I was able to explain to you how and where to have a wind turbine built. Um, Building a wind turbine is easier than you may think, and the wind turbine will benefit you for a long time and make you some money as well. So, thanks for watching.